Prost retires after 1991. This will be his final season in the sport. Ferrari have respected his decision and will give Prost full support for the remaining races in a bid to try and win the World Championship. Prost said he loved his time in Formula 1 and always looked back fondly. But it just feels like the right time for him to call it quits. But he's still got a championship to fight for. But the question is now, who will replace him? Several links are linking Game to McLaren for 1992. Game seems to be linked to a number of teams, McLaren being the strongest. Ron Dennis has publicly stated that he'd be a fool not to consider Game for 1992, but how far are they along with the talks, and could another team swoop in? He's currently unemployed for 92. All but certain, Schumacher to Benetton for 1992 is pretty much all but confirmed. Will drive for Benetton in 1992. Flavio has stated many times how impressed he's been with Michael Schumacher over the course of this season, but we're pretty much just waiting for the news to be confirmed. That's the news. Join us for the Canadian Grand Prix. Welcome back to the UF1 world. Today is the Canadian Grand Prix of 1991. Now, it was a disappointing day out for Game in the previous Grand Prix at Donington. He'll be hoping to make a big statement in the championship today. Senna getting himself back in the hunt, but we're one Grand Prix away from a potential disaster. So let's get straight onto the grid. Here's a McLaren lockout. Berger taking pole once again with Senna just behind him in second place. Prost leading a Ferrari 3-4, Lacey in fourth. Game out qualifying his teammate Mansell once again. It is hard to believe why they dropped Game for 92, but Game's fifth, Mansell sixth. Cafe with a fantastic lap in his footwork, with Patrese in 8th place, Nannini, his teammate, just behind him. They're both loving that new Benetton. Pierluigi Martini in 10th place with a great result. Another great result for his teammate, Morbidelli, in 11th. Bertrand Gastro out qualifying Schumacher again. Not that he's too concerned. Capelli just behind in 14th place. Then we've got Gugelman, I think, 15th. Comas. And then we've got Boutsen in 17th, my apologies. Blundell in 18th. Brundle, 19th. Johnny Herbert, 20th in the Lotus, with Hacken in 21st and Alboreto taking up the final spot in 22nd. Right, we are looking for the lights out. It's the green lights. We are waiting for the green. There's a little jump there, but it's not too much, and he's away. We're away off the line. Mansell with a better start than us, but it's not a very wide grid or track as they head towards turn one. And that is a Game with a fantastic move as he sweeps round the outside and then follows up the inside of one of the Ferraris. That must be John Alesi. Was John Alesi. Prost just ahead. He's got himself up into P4 after a disappointing getaway from Game. He did manage to make up the time and a couple of places, but early doors, we'll see what sort of pace he has. Lovely stuff. What a great getaway that was. Prost there all over the gaff as he moves left and right. But we look outside now and everyone's piling down, and no crashes, no big pile-ups as we see. As we look at the back of one of the Benettons, and it's a great start from the Minardi, but Nannini getting caught up in all sorts, but the footwork and the Minardi of Pierluigi Martini have collided. No damage, it seems, as he sweeps around the outside. A great start. That appears to be him up into 6th place. Be a fantastic result for what will eventually be the Audi team in 1992. This is Schumacher's getaway, forced to brake, smashed on the brakes to avoid the other Minardi, and that's cost him big time, and he's incredibly cautious as we come through turns 1 heading to 2. He is very cautious here, trying not to take a wing off, but you can't lose the race, you can't win the race in turn 1. But we're back with the action now. We're up in the hairpin, and is he going to try and move on the inside? He is. As a Game up on the inside, into 3rd place. Caught Prost napping a little bit, barged him out of the way. He's not here for no celebration of Prost's retirement this weekend, but He barges his way through and up into third place. It would appear this Williams has got fantastic pace, and that's a little mistake from Senna. Is he going to get a move done? He balls alongside, they dance towards the final, quick right left, and Senna holds his car out wide. And our game touches the wall. Is that going to allow Prost a run towards turn 1? And I don't think it is. I don't think it's close enough. The game is going to remain in third place. Fantastic opening lap. But as we look at Alain Prost, well, the two Ferraris actually, Alesi holding in tow with Mansell just behind. They all want to do some big things in this Grand Prix. He's not setting the championship alight as we speak, but we're looking at everyone else here, and there is a Ligier, there is a Minardi. He's the Minardi, just sandwiched between the two Benetton cars. Fantastic. Nannini will be hoping to get past him as soon as possible, though. Surely he can. We're back live with the action now. Lap 2 of this Grand Prix, and it's Ayrton Senna just ahead of the Williams driver. And he's going to go and nap it. He's going to dive to the inside. What an opportunistic move there, if I do say so myself. Fantastic. Now, we have got away to a very good start here, up into P2 now. Berger is trotting off in the distance, 2 seconds up the road. And it appears that we will need a mighty few laps to catch him. But we've got the gap down to 9, well, just about a second. Just a second, but we are catching lap 4 of this Grand Prix, lap 4 of 17. Can we catch Berger? It'll be interesting, because I don't know if I can hold this pace the whole Grand Prix. Berger, we don't know what sort of pace he's lapping at, and that's another tap of the wall there. Thankfully, the suspension is made of something incredible. Something absolutely incredible that suspension is made of. We get to the hairpin now. We are quick through here, but that Honda engine in the back of that McLaren is absolutely mighty out of the corners, and we do lose a huge amount of time. But here is Nigel Mansell. He is actually dropping back from the two Ferrari. He just doesn't seem to click with this car at the moment. Williams are certain that he'll find the gear that they are looking for. They're not too worried. We asked. They weren't too worried. Game is young. It will be able to drive anything. Mansell wants a very specific car, and once they get it, he will be on fine form. But Alesi is all over the back of his teammate Alain Prost, and it doesn't appear that Prost is giving him any room. There's no team orders at Ferrari. I can't imagine Prost would be all that keen on letting Alesi through at the best of the times. But is that Alesi with a run? Prost with a little mistake through gear shift, possibly. That's Alesi up into third place. Prost will be seething at that. But Alesi, he could be the team leader at Ferrari next season, with Prost on his way to the retirement home. But Alesi will want to now. He needs to make a name for himself. He needs to put a stamp on his Ferrari seat, because we don't know who's coming. But we're back live with the action. Lap 8 of this Grand Prix. Berger leads 1.5 seconds ahead of game. Senna 5.8 seconds behind. He's dropping back. He really doesn't seem to enjoy the car around here this weekend. Alesi now ahead of Prost in 4th and 5th. Mansell drop back a little bit there in 6th place. Still on for a point. That's a little mistake as we go over the grass. Oh, that's not going to help things, as the gap now goes above 2 seconds again. We can't seem to find a pace consistently, as Patrese in 7th place there. But I think, yeah, Luigi Martini still holding a great result in P8 ahead of a much faster car in Nannini, the Benetton. But here is Ayrton Senna now, and we will be diving towards the pits. We thought the pits, the strategies would be coming into tow any moment now, and Senna is in the pits. There goes Alesi. And Prost in as well. Prost is in as well. But the mechanics are not ready for him. They're going to tell him to go. Go, they're saying. And they're out. And Senna leaves. But Senna has had a full stop. Prost had no work done on his car. What were Ferrari doing there? Oh, that's poor from the Ferrari team. They had to send him on the way, which means he's got to do a full lap and come back into the pits. Oh, that is not going to please the Frenchman at all. We're back in lap 10 of this Grand Prix. We are in for our pit stop. Here we need it clean. We've had a couple of really poor stops over the last couple of Grand Prix, and we're out. It's a decent stop this time, and we're away. We are away, and we are down a pit lane. No speed limit still. They are rumoured to be wanting to bring a speed limit in, but up until now there is absolutely no speed limit. Alesi's 23.6 up the road, but we come out ahead of Patrese in P3, so we're still on the podium. So worst case scenario is, but this is Nigel Mansell. He is coming into the pits to retire. We didn't see it live on the action where his teammate pits, gives him a little love tap, but Mansell is out of this Canadian Grand Prix, and it is going from bad to worse this season for him. But yeah, his game gets away. You can see the two. Is that Prost and Senna pitting again? It is! That's a Senna pitting again! What was that for? What was that for? As we cut back to Senna, who leaves the garage, or leaves the pit box I should say, but they've both pitted again. Oh dear, that is not going to help the Brazilians' chances today. But Berger is out in the lead, but he's suddenly absolutely chucking it down here. Berger still on the dries. Games just come in for a set of dry tyres as well. What is going to happen here today? But who is going to get the strategy right? Is it wet enough for the dry tyres? We will soon find out. The spray's there, but that doesn't mean too much. We will have to see. Berger will assume he's going to pit this lap, but what tyres is he going to put on? We shall find out momentarily as he heads towards the pit lane entrance now, and he'll dive straight in. He looks alright. He seemed to have great pace in the car, and he's not come round. Where's Berger? Where is out? Oh, the engine's gone. Gerhard Berger is out of the Canadian Grand Prix from the lead. That will dent his championship game. Could and should inherit the lead. Alesi's in the pits. Alesi is in the pits. And here he is. He's not now on exit. He's now exiting the pit lane. Where is Game going to come out in? Is he? Alesi leads. Alesi leads the Canadian Grand Prix in his Ferrari. I'm not sure where he's getting that speed from, but Alesi leads this Grand Prix. He is on the intermediate tyres. Game is on the dry tyres. He has stayed out. He seems to have the pace, and he's got a run on Jean Alesi as we head towards the hairpin. Is it going to be enough? Has he got the grip? Online. Spray's there, but it's not a huge amount of spray. He's going to dive. He's going to get the car stopped for the hairpin. He is going to get the car stopped for the hairpin. And that's him up into the lead of the Grand Prix, because we know Berger has retired, but it's not registered on the system just yet. But here's Ayrton Senna. He is on the dry tyres as well. We know what a masterful driver he is in these wet conditions, but he did make 2 stops, and we can't really work out why. And he's in again. Senna's in again. This has got to be a terminal issue, surely. They must be looking at something in the pits. I wonder if he has. Berger's already out. Is that Senna out of this Grand Prix? Is it going to be a double McLaren retirement? And it is. They're wheeling Senna back into the pit lane. Senna is out of the Canadian Grand Prix. But we're back live. We have got a 2-second gap of Jean Alesi. Lap 13 of 17. And it will be interesting to see, because it appears we are on the fence. On the fence of crossover. So the dries are working well, but so the intermediate tyres. If Alesi can keep them cool, keep them in a good operating window, and it's suddenly the rain comes down again, but it has stopped. The rain has stopped, so it is drying up. There's a decent dry line, and that's where we're getting our speed from. 2.1 seconds is the gap here, and Alesi and ourselves are lapping at very, very similar speeds. Alesi took a while to get them tyres up to a decent temperature, hence why we were able to pounce and take the lead of this Grand Prix. But this is Bertrand Gachot in the pit lane. There's loads of cars diving towards the pits. They don't know what tyres to be on. Wets, inters. Well, it's definitely not wets. Inters or dries. And oh, there's a crash in the pit lane. That is poor. That is poor from Bertrand Gachot. This is why we need a speed limit in the pit lane, because stuff like this happens all the time. And that was a Tyrrell, I believe. He was massively, massively taken out there. But there's a massive gaggle of cars as we dive through turns 1 and 2. But now Gachot with no front wing is going to struggle his way all round the lap. But that might mean him potentially out. That was a huge whack. There's the Tyrrell with no rear wing. He will surely be out of the Canadian Grand Prix. We're back into the pit lane now. And this is potentially to retire. And he's going to give him another love tap. Oh, and he's flipped it. He's flipped the car in the pit lane. Thankfully, there was no one standing in the line of fire just there. That was a struggle. 2 to go as we drawing the action back. And we've got the gap still at 2, just over 2 seconds. It appears that we're much faster within the first sector and a half. And Alesi as quick as us, if not a little bit quicker than us, in the final sector. Which is, we've got to go over the grass. Maybe it is getting a bit damp. Are our tyres wearing? 2 seconds now. But here is the Jordan of Michael Schumacher. He is up into 6th place. a fantastic drive after his very, very cautious start. And with the news that he's pretty much secure for a future heading to Benetton, and as they are going the right way as well, Benetton, it could be a great chapter in his F1 career for the young German. But yeah, it's fantastic. But here, speaking of the Benettons, right here, and they've had a great race. Not got the pace of the top 3 teams, but Nannini's in 3rd place, looking for another podium and another great chunk of points. But we've got just a handful of corners to go into the hairpin, and we've locked up a little bit, but into so much traffic. Alesi's got the gap to 1.3, but we're going to drive straight past the Lotus, and that's put a car between ourselves and Jean Alesi. And we are very cautious because we believe the rain has started again, but we should get to the end of the Grand Prix as we dip a wheel onto the grass in less than a second, 7/10, I may add, as we've got just a right-left to go, and we should, and we will, take victory, and we win the Canadian Grand Prix. Absolutely fantastic, absolutely fantastic. Alesi, us versus Alesi, was superb. Prost dropped out early, both McLarens retiring, so that does, I think, give us the championship lead. A driver that doesn't have a drive for next season, leading the World Championship. That is the final classification as Game wins it just by 6/10 to Jean Alesi. There was a big gap back to Nannini, but I can't imagine he'll mind, with a podium spot and a 4th place for Riccardo Patrese, who potentially might not even be at the team next season. We'll get more information. That Prost down in 5th, missed out on a podium with his misfortune today. Mansell, Berger, Senna, all out of this Grand Prix. Huge ramifications for the championship standings, and the championship standings are as follows. Game does take the lead with 38 points, 2 clear of Berger in 2nd place. Prost and Alesi level on points, but there is the Constructors' Championship. McLaren 7 clear, who are a further 7 clear of Williams. But if you've enjoyed the video, like, subscribe, and join us next time